somebody who asked me yesterday if I send them the slides, but if I send them the recording, then they get the whole picture because she's not able to log on.
Okay, we've just started recording.
Good afternoon, people. We have 1 minute to wait.
We are now up to
17?
17 participants.
Hi, Mark.
Mark didn't listen.
No, I waved.
Oh, he
I'm
waved.
eating lunch.
Waved.
That's Donna Clark. She's from a powerhouse division up there in Area 1.
Yes, she is.
Oh, Donna is. She sure is.
Hardly,
Please,
but thank you.
Oh, please. You are up in Eureka? Absolutely.
It's a fun trip to drive up and visit you guys.
Well, it's a beautiful trip.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Not if you're trying to make time, though.
No, have to be proceed with caution.
Yeah. Slow and go and enjoy the view.
Okay,
That's
if
right.
everybody could mute themselves, and that would be great. And then the other thing is logistics. If you have a question, open your chat and go ahead and type it in there, and I will.
Hello?
You muted yourself, Lorraine.
Yeah, you muted yourself.
Yeah.
You muted.
There we go.
your-
I'm unmuted. I'm unmuted. Thank you. Okay, so this logo in the middle is one that I created just for membership. Success depends on all of us. It's not just going to happen as we're finding out throughout the state about members joining. So it's going to take all of us to increase our membership. So I always love quotes, and here's Maya Angelou: if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. So many times we get stuck and frustrated, and so we need to decide that, whoa, I need to change how I'm thinking about trying to recruit members. The next slide is first impression. So here's where I want you to use the chat box. So what was your first impression as you walked away from your first encounter with CalRTA, whether it was a meeting, a social, a meet and greet, talking to a friend about it, or talking to an acquaintance? So go ahead and chat and type in on the chat box what was your first impression. I'll give you a second to do that.
No, I don't have a chat box.
Down at the bottom. Down at the bottom.
Oh, notes.
Let's see.
It's on the same line as the video and audio.
Very formally by the chat box.
So found a pretty good group. We saw a lot of familiar faces. I wasn't sure where the focus was. What a group of old but interesting people. That's a commonality right there. Bunch of crazy older teachers.
The greeters.
So those are, you know, some comments that are coming in. I was impressed. It was a new retiree, retired function. I joined on the spot as dues deduct. So Donna is the exception rather than the rule right now. Donna Clark's, that's the one who just chat that I just read. So we got a wide variety of answers there. So the next question is, what happened as a result? Well, I think obviously the result was you joined. But did it take you a bit to join? Did you join right away like Donna? Jan said that she was immediately drafted. That kind of happened to me because I was really good friends with Mark and his wife, Mark Allen. So obviously what happened to you as a result is that you joined. But what are others thinking when they walk away from their first CalRTA encounter? What do you think that they're thinking What have they told you? What feedback have you gotten? So if you could type that in, that would be great.
I don't know where to type it in at. Where is that at?
It's at the bottom and it says chat.
But how do you send it?
I see nothing that says tap.
Chat, C-H-A-T.
I don't see tap.
Under more, if you click on more, is there a 3 dots that say more?
Oh, okay, up here. Ah, there it is.
Okay, perfect.
Now, what was the question?
What are others thinking when they walk away from their first Cal RTA encounter? So what happened as a result of you going to, talking to, or meeting with, or doing something with the, your first encounter with Cal RTA? All right. So
How do you send the chat?
you just type it in and press return.
Oh, return.
Oh,
Okay.
return.
Yeah, type it in on your computer, press return.
Oh, there.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So, so what are others thinking? Sue put, what do you do besides luncheons? Somebody said they were not really impressed. Bob says I could not distinguish between Cal RTA and CTA retirees. So there's a lot of interesting feedback right there. So what they're thinking is critical to our future. So can we do a better job with personal contact? This is how we're going to get members. We have to do personal contact. We cannot always rely. We're getting some good members joining, some good membership drives from Johanna and with the office sending out the letters to everybody, but we're not getting a huge amount. We're getting some, and it's a good return for our investment. But as far as your own divisions, we have to commit to going out and doing, having personal contact. So how do we do that? We have to be committed to going to events that happen in your community, farmers market. You don't have to go every week. You can go once a month, but you have to go somewhere where people are mingling of all ages, because we want to attract people new in the profession as well as people who are getting ready to retire. Some divisions are very lucky and they're invited to the district's retirement events. They're welcome to have a table there. That is a prime spot to catch these people. The other really successful event that we have for divisions, as divisions, are pre-retirement events. Every one of those people that go to their to the pre-retirement event in your division or your area are thinking about retiring. So that's the perfect spot to really have good promotion items and a lot of branding and a great event so they know and understand what Cal RTA is about. You have to understand that in some parts of the state, Cal RTA is not a known entity. They're not, it's not like CTA or AFT. It's Cal RTA has got to go out in those areas and make sure that educators know what the organization is about and know our name. So when they hear Cal RTA, they're not, huh, who is that? So many divisions have the Welcome to Retirement breakfast at the beginning of the school year, though this year will be a lot different. Or they have a lunch, or they have a wine and cheese tasting at a winery. Some of them have targeted retirement communities. And many retirement communities have educators in there, and many retirement communities have Cal RTA members. So for example, in Sonoma County, we have a large one called Oakmont. We're going to have a little get together, and they have a community newsletter that goes out, and we are going to advertise in that, and that's our invitation. It may take some footwork. You may have to go to some, if it's a small enough community, go house to house and just put a little piece of paper in the door to let them know that you're having something, because people don't necessarily know what's going on unless you tell them. It's not enough to post on a bulletin board. Teacher grant giveaways is one of the best ways also to get our name out there, of course. Division 43 has always takes a cup that they have some goodies in and a brochure, and they give it away to the person who's been there the longest. Oh, what a great idea, right? You salute them, and you also throw in a little CalRTA incentive. Then the lunchtime sharing at schools is something that Division 39 just started, and they're going to specifically discuss the WEP GPO. They're not going to, they're going to promote CalRTA through that discussion. They want to make sure that these educators know that we are fighting for the repeal of WEP GPO, and hopefully giving them enough information that they will come to our pre-retirement events. They will come and learn more about our organization. And that's going to be, that's our big carrot. Besides the pre-retirement events, the big carrot, I believe, is our WEP GPO. Okay, and if you have anything you want to add or chat, throw it in the chat box. Okay, so personal contact is really, really, in my opinion, the #1 way we're going to get people to join. Okay, so to do a better job with personal contacts, again, what do they want to learn about besides the repeal of WEP GPO? What webinars are they interested in other than the CTC topics? Many people retiring are pretty adept at CTC computer topics. They know webinars, they know, because right now they're Zooming all over the place. So they're coming in pretty experienced. So maybe that is not of an interest to them, but perhaps something else would be. Have we asked others to do a short article on a passion they have for our magazine or newsletters? I want to tell you that I've been receiving newsletters from divisions all across the state, and the one things that are constant in every newsletter are the president's hello, a little bit about GRC, acknowledging people who have passed, acknowledging our new members, possibly something on insurance, but there's not always something that's a great bit of information. Some people put in their newsletters jokes and things like that that are cute, but there's nothing that's, wow, here's a great information article on plastic. I'm hearing some clicking. I don't know what that is. Okay, so what else can we do? And Joyce said new retirees are interested in what we are advocating for. Absolutely. Donna shared, as you can read these, goodie bags to every teacher and the principal when she has grant recipients. The winner got a bigger gift. So what is CTC? Communications technology, I think communication technology, I forget the other C. Okay, so this is, I always love to Google research, and this is an article I found, 10 ways to help increase membership. It's from February 2015, and it's from Connectivity, Help for Government Relations and Nonprofit Professionals. And I really found it to be on point, even though it's from 2015. So have an onboarding plan. So we know that our first-time members are a specific group, and they need to be approached with specific strategies. We know that. And what I'm encouraging for a specific strategy is personal contact, be out in the community. So how do we keep them engaged? They're going to come back if they're engaged. So unless we can show them the value of our membership, they're not going to react. So perhaps some of our divisions offered them 50% on their membership, a free membership. Perhaps their district, when they retired, CalRTA was able to offer them a free year. But that just gets them in the door. We need to keep them once they get in as a member. So say hello with a personal touch. The chapter member should point out, here's the value I got when you're having a personal contact, and here's why you want to hang with us. Here's why you want to come to our events. And so follow up with emails and something from the division president. In my opinion, if the division president takes time to write out a card that says, hey, I'm so excited about you becoming a member in our division, that means something. Somebody who writes a handwritten little personal card, and CalRTA has those note cards available for free. So if you get 2 letters, one from the membership chair and one from the division president, that kind of shows people care. Reach out at 3 and 6 months. So you reach out when they join. You reach out again when they at 3 months and say, hey, thank you for coming to a luncheon, or if you haven't come to a luncheon, this next luncheon is going to feature blah 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 as a presenter, or come to our holiday luncheon. We have gifts that we raffle off, and everybody goes home pretty much everybody goes home with something. And we'll have music or whatever. Give them a little carrot there to dangle. We need to offer them a listing of opportunities. And at 6 months, also highlighting what's happened with the GRC and what's happening within your division. For example, today at from 12 to 12:45, the retirees in the community, as well as all educators, were invited to go to the county office to do it by protest for the superintendent of schools at the county level said something. So there, people are trying to make him change his mind. But my point is, that may be something that a retiree, if they were very devoted if they're very involved with their union, that might be something that they're really interested in doing. So letting people know about those kind of things might create more loyalty to our program. And speaking of loyalty, do a first-year assessment on that. Have we talked to them? Have we found out what they want and what they appreciate about the association 6 to 9 months before that year is up, so that they will want to re-up with us, so that they recognize the value of their $66, which is dirt cheap as far as we know. You know, that's what, a Starbucks a month. To do that, you might develop a survey, or you might just have one-on-one conversations. Maybe you want to invite 3 or 4 of them to have a cup of coffee with you, just to kind of get an idea. Or if you know 3 of them are friends, or 2 of them are best friends, just meet with them. Again, they know you care. Again, they know you care not only about seeing them and have that personal contact, but you care about what they're thinking. And that doesn't mean you're trying to groom them for a position in leadership. That means that when they talk to people that are still teaching, they're saying, wow, CalRTA is such a great organization that, you know, that we just meet for coffee. We've met a couple times this year, and they just wanted to know what we thought. They're not trying to get me to take a role anywhere. That will come. So think of it as a loyalty analysis, and are their needs being met? Our publications, our conferences, our website, we don't know which will be the most important until we analyze and see if there's a difference between what we're providing and what they're seeking and what they want. All right, come on. Okay, sell our association. And that's where we're going out and doing the events, right? We should always be selling our association, and that could just be wearing the CalRTA volunteer button when you go to volunteer anywhere in your community. The food bank, the community, whatever community service you're doing, volunteer hours. And if you think about that, it's a low-key way to get the name out there, and it's not like you're addressing a whole group of people. But if you're involved in any other organization with educators might be involved in, that's something that we all need to do, is sell, just to mention. And also stress our benefits. Gosh, we have some great benefits, from the insurance person, EJS, to C's Candies. We do have some benefits of being part of this organization. So, and the webinars now are so easy to get to, and they're just on the front page of our website. It's right there. It says webinars, and all of them are listed. And if you just click on the webinar, you'll get information on it, and you'll also get to know how to register. So I really believe that the organization is trying to make everything as simple as possible. There's a huge advocacy toolkit Susie Dixon was telling me about on Tuesday. There's some good things on there that hopefully you've seen it and you've been able to peruse the website a little bit more to become a little bit more familiar. Again, there's publications, certification, and group insurance. There's all these different ways that you can emphasize different things at different times throughout the year. Keep it local, all right? So you want to promote your events that are happening in your community, especially during the first year. So stress your local division. They want to talk about their own people, what's going on in their local chapters. But that doesn't mean you don't address national issues. There's a lot going on right now, and as we all know, and it might be something that some people in your division feel strongly about, and they just want to talk. So it just depends. Provide programs. Our membership is changing. We know that. We have members that are in their 90s, and we've had members over 100. It's just awesome. And new members joining. So we need to make sure that we're taking care of all of them. And one person cannot do it all. And that's where your leadership team comes in. And it's a challenge, but it's a good challenge. And speaking of that, I asked division presidents to let me know, I had 5 questions, and one of them was, what do you call, some of them are calling their members who are 80, from between 80 and 100, they're calling them precious gems or golden something or other. But I was thinking, oh my gosh, we should probably have a name and a little program for these people if they reach that milestone to celebrate them. And some divisions are putting them in the newsletters, or they have one of their luncheons a year where they honor all of them. They've given them free luncheons. They've given them free memberships. They've given them half price luncheons. So I never thought about that until I started reading this feedback. And so that's something I really think that the MRRC committee should be looking at as a whole and celebrating, because I think that our younger members would really like to see that, and to see, okay, they appreciate longevity as well as they appreciate me as a new join. Capture engagement data, which we do, we have our volunteer activities, attendance at chapter events, and who is using the professional development. So if we're keeping track as an association, it's another way to accurately assess the needs and inducing loyalty. It also can create stronger ties. And then meet them, and I've suggested already meeting them with, having coffee with them, doing the events when school's over, wine and cheese. But you can also perhaps go to their meeting. Maybe they belong to a garden group, and you're interested in gardening, and you go to their meeting, and they might be the president of their garden group, and it's like, wow, you came. Yeah, I really wanted to learn about succulents or whatever. President Mahoney has made it a priority to do a road trip, and he has visited many of your divisions and many of our areas, specifically to meet your new members, or our new members, and to show that he, as the president, is interested in making sure that they're made to feel welcome. So wherever we meet them, we have to be prepared to have some one-on-one conversations. So with that, I want to talk about a couple of things. One is, as you meet them, brochures. We know that CalRTA has a ton of them, but I just wanted to show you a couple of things that we have done in Division 39. And this is a brochure that we created to hand out to people still in the classroom. So it does not have a membership application. It's just a brochure to tell them about what is happening within CalRTA and what's CalRTA about. So here's the front page, this is the back page, and this is one of the folds. But it tells about our milestones. Pardon?
Can't see it.
Oh, you can't see it. Oh, sorry, I have to share. Oops, sorry. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, share. Okay, see it?
There we go.
Okay, so again, here's the front page. It tells the mission, how long we've been working, who we are. This is the back page, again, who we're associated with. I wanted them to make sure they knew that we are big with CalSTRS. I think that's an important tie-in for us. And our milestones, about a little bit about our teacher grants, which some teacher grants are amazing. Some of the divisions are doing an super duper job with that. Tips for all educators, and did you know the most important part about the WEP GPO and how we're fighting for them? So this is again for educators who are still in the classroom, just to get them a little bit of knowledge about what CalRTA is. All righty, and then the second brochure is, what's this one? Okay, this is our brochure for our division that we just created. And this is one that has an application on it. And this is into people at our pre-retirement events and anybody who's almost thinking about retirement.
It's not showing, Lorraine.
Oh, again, screen, sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. There we go.
It's Keystone affected. It's
There we go. You should be able to see it now.
no,
No.
not right, not right. It has a Keystone effect.
There we go. There you are.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I keep forgetting this has to share. Anyways, this is our Division 1 that we created. And although the state has wonderful brochures, we felt it was important to have a local one because we wanted them to join our division. So it had officers as, again, our partner, a little bit about CalRTA itself, partner in pension protection since 1929, how many members, how many divisions. It's the fact that it's nonpartisan, which I believe attracts people, to tell you the truth. They're tired of the politics, not that it's a bad thing. We stole this, not stole it. We borrowed this from Ron Breyer's flyer that he had done, this excellent flyer. And we thought that this was really good wording. So you can tell Ron that. And so highlights and again, 3 issues. And then we, something about us since 1957 and what's in it for me? And that's the big question, right? With our new retirees, what's in it for me? So this gives them some idea of what's in it for them and what we're about here in Division 39. And then of course, a membership application. So this is what we hand out along with state brochures at our pre-retirement events or at any event where we're going to be talking to educators who live in Sonoma County. And then the other thing I got from Betty Silva, and this is something she created that I recreated that could be a bookmark. So on top it has, and this is 2. Oh, again, I have to do the screen. Sorry. Okay. All right, let's share this. Okay, it's coming up. Can you see it?
Nope. There it is.
Okay, so this is you can print it on different color paper. It doesn't have to be on white, but it tells just a brief thing, a little brief little synopsis of what we do. We do grants, we do scholarships, we have pension and protection advocacy. So why join? These are the reasons why. Right here, and like I said, this could be a little, this could be a bookmark that you hand out at events to people so that they know. If you do books at any of your events, for example, when we have a farmer's market, we go to the farmer's market, many times we've taken books that we have gathered at our luncheons. And in the inside, if you put donated by CalRTA, just created a little sticker. And then if you gave them away, every time they open that book, they would see that sticker. And if they pass it along, like many of us do, after we read a book, we pass it along, there will be that sticker. So that's another thing to think about. Okay, those are the three. And then the other thing I wanted to show you is that we have new promotional merchandise. I just got this from Johanna because I was bugging her about it. But, oh, I need to share. Hold on. This is exciting, and I want to tell you why. The prices are super reasonable. Very, very reasonable compared to some of the items before. Can you all see it now? This is available now. They have a water bottle, which I love. Because, okay, so imagine you're going to the teacher grant and you want to do give a gift to the person who's been there the longest. All right, here's your CalRTA water bottle. You fill it with a brochure, you fill it with a little candies, you fill it with a pen or whatever, you hand it out. And then it's got a travel kit, magnet, letter opener. They still have some things here that have the old logo, the volunteers, so they must have a lot of buttons left. But here's a new bag, $1.75, very reasonable. And they still have the collapsible water bottle. So anyways, here's some other things that are new now that can be ordered. This is awesome. The eyeglass cloth, $1 each. That's awesome. So there's that. And those are all the brochures. So let's move on. Let me go back to this. Okay, it's 10 ways to increase on. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I didn't know whether we'd get to this or not. 8 stages of member experience. And this was from Donor Box nonprofit blog. So there's 8 specific stages of member experience as defined by guidestar.org. And the first one is discovery. The prospect has a problem or concern that deeply troubles them. So Social Security would be that. Contemplation, they consider whether our membership offers a good solution to the problem. And we do. We have a strong GRC that is always looking to send information to the legislature at the national level as well as the state level to repeal that. Activation, the prospect completes the buying action, so they join our membership. Onboarding, they look for validation, which it kind of described in the 10 ways. First 30 days, again, they assess their early experiences. That's why we want, thinking if you can, do a little quick note. If the value will be kept beyond 30 days, they continue to assess. And pre-renewal, they face the renewal decision. So we need to make sure by then they're 100% bought into our group. And then post-renewal, they assess whether their loyalty is appreciated. So that's called the 8 stages of member experience. And then the last page is success comes when opportunity meets preparation. So that's the end of the presentation, but the only other thing I want to mention is branding. I believe it's important to make sure that when you go to an event, you have some tools available to you. And after Tuesday's presentation, I believe I'm going to, with the help of the MRRC committee, create a virtual toolbox for people, for divisions to look at and to have, help them create ideas. One thing is to perhaps have, Division 39 created a table runner that we use now, and it's very pretty, and it's mostly blues, the royal blue, so we got a yellow tablecloth to go with it with our colors. We make sure that we give goodie bags, and some other people have done goodie bags too. And I think that as new members come in, they're given a goodie bag, or prospects come in, and we always have one to give to everybody at our pre-retirement event. That's been really successful. If you have a banner, some type of banner, we had a vinyl banner, and that was such a pain in the butt that we got one of those banners that you pull up, and I'm sure you've seen them around. It's very easy to carry. It's less than 20 pounds. So it's a great banner. And so those are things that we have on our table to when we're at farmers market and as we do our branding. And if you have a pop-up with CalRTA on it, or you put a banner on something that says CalRTA. So, so what questions do you have or comments?
Lorraine,
Yes.
I want to throw something out there that I had an experience yesterday or the day before. A member who I recruited joined. She was a person at the gym that I go to. Took me 2 or 3 times talking to her, but got her to join, and her husband joined. And so she stayed on a year, then didn't renew. So Karen and I, your co-president, were talking about it. She says, why don't you just call her? And I go, I hate that. You know, she goes, well, approach it from the perspective that I'm not trying to convince you to sign up again, but why did you quit? I go, okay, yeah, do it like a survey type thing. So I called her and, you know, said, how you doing? Coronavirus, haven't seen you at the gym because we can't meet, blah, blah, blah. And then I said, you know, I just happen to notice your renewal hasn't been filled out for CalRTA. How come you're not, you know, signing back up? And basically what she said to me is, did not see the value of belonging. So that's a perfect opening me for to start twisting your arm again with all the platitudes of why you should be a member. So instead of doing that, which I told her I wasn't going to do, I was just going to ask her, you know, I said, well, what could we do to help to make it worth your while? What do you want out of us, basically? And she said, there's nothing I could think of. I says, well, we are involved, and now comes the salesmanship. We are involved in legislation, trying to protect teachers, retired teachers, students. And she says, oh, well, is there anything you can do about the way they dress? They need dress codes back in school. I go, well, that's really not our area of concern. She goes, well, how about their behavior? Their behavior is absolutely horrible. And I go, Val, are you back in the classroom subbing now? She goes, no, I just see the kids at Safeway, and I think it's despicable. So she just hates kids, I think. You know, but that was my attempt, and I'm, you know where I'm coming from, Lorraine. I want to see these people who opt out and find a way to get in them, opt back in.
Okay, thank
my
you.
2 cents.
Okay, who else? You can just unmute yourself and talk. Marshall, you have something to say?
No, thank you.
Steve, go ahead.
Yep. I know that earlier you said, you know, to sort of think globally but act locally at the beginning,
Right.
with certain issues. But I also feel that we need to remind people that we're part of a state group, and there are other you know, divisions. We cover every part of the state, because I know that there are some divisions that are very, I mean, they're only going to do their thing in their place. And I think being part of that larger group, and they may know somebody somewhere else who hasn't heard about us, and if they can share that, you know, hopefully the positive things, you know, because they want to join, that I think that would be really important, just to remind them that, you know, we're a state association. Thank you.
Yeah, I meant nationally versus California with that. Okay, so the Britons have their hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. A couple of comments. First of all, some of the things that you've shown today, the template, you know, are those templates going to be available under the resources section? I was looking to see what was there.
That's going to be, they're going to be in the toolkit, yes, but if you want something sooner, just email me and I will send it to you. Be happy to.
Okay, that's my first comment. Second comment is, you know, what we're dealing with right now, a lot of the ideas have been really great, and you know, we've discussed some of these before, but the kind of pre-COVID-19 kind of things, all the personal contact, you know, our personal contact has to be different. It has to be email, phone calls, and things. It's certainly not going to be group thing. I don't know when we're going to have a luncheon again, but currently it's going to be a while, I think, doing Zoom things. So for new people, it's a little trickier right now.
But when was the last time you called people and made that personal contact? Somebody's screeching. So
Sounds like a
that's,
trigger.
yeah, okay. Personal contact, when I phoned people from my division, they were ecstatic to hear from me. And I don't know whether my division has done that before. I've only been a member for this is my 3rd year. So I believe that the feedback that I heard from divisions that called their members was wonderful. And many of them their children had told them that they are not allowed to leave the house at the beginning, because we did this in March, right? But their children knew about it. So if the parent was excited about receiving this phone call and their child was excited because they were excited, don't you think the child's going to share that with people of their own age? That's one way that we're making contact. And we also did the letters, and I believe that people really appreciated that. And until we can get out there, that's going to kind of how we're going to have to make that personal contact. I got 2 other hands. Is that you, Sue?
That's me. Yeah.
Okay.
I think something else that perhaps we need to consider, I think I've reached a lot of people on Facebook. We have a Facebook page and a Facebook group for our division. And I've searched other divisions. There aren't very many CalRTA divisions that have a Facebook page or group. And a lot of people in our generation have, are on Facebook.
Right.
We're looking at our kids and grandkids, and we're mingling, and, that way. It is a great way to brand your division. It's a great way to share advocacy notices. I put links on there. I upload our newsletter to make sure that people can access it. I say, you don't have to be a member, just click on the link and take a look at what we're doing. That's how I advertise teacher grants that we provide to teachers in 6 different districts. So it's a really good way to get information out there. And so if your division hasn't set up a Facebook group or page, you might want to consider doing that. It's really a good area to advertise.
And to piggyback on that, Betty Silva Facebook did advertise. She said that if you wanted to be in the drawing for the grants, you had to go to Facebook and do the email or whatever. And she got great response. And
we did too. We got over 80 grant applicants on Facebook in 2 different drawings, and it was great.
Perfect. And I don't know your name, but you have that checkered blouse on, which is very cute. Go ahead.
Hi.
Jan, thank you.
Jan. There are a couple things that we've done, and one thing that I think CalRTA at the state should do, when the bill was going to committee to change from the current CalSTRS, how districts put money aside for retired teachers into 401ks. I emailed all our members who have emails. Not all our members have email.
Right.
It's very simple. You just do it 20 at a time, a group email, and told them about it and asked them to call in, gave them the phone number. They called in. When it was defeated, I sent them another email, which thanked them, told them it had been defeated. And I got a number of emails back. I also sent it to some newly retired teachers to see if, and it was from CalRTA, Division 83. So they know where it's coming from. And that seems to have had some effect. The other thing I do is when I get the note from Johanna and it says so-and-so has not re-upped, I send them a little letter that I made up and I keep on my computer and put a note on it and say, oops, you forgot something. And there are people who just forget to re-up. If you don't remind them, they simply don't do it. There's one guy I send a note to every year and he re-ups. So sometimes this kind of, if we can keep a constant reminder going and it is always labeled Cal RTA and your division, I think that helps.
It does help. And we also send a letter, a very nicely worded letter that says, come on, get in gear, but no. Okay, thank you so much. Who else? Okay, go ahead.
We give a $25 gift card for people who sign up for Dues Deduct, or if they're already a member, switch to Dues Deduct. And I'm the one that has to buy the cards, and I have to buy some more recently, even though we haven't had meetings. But because we send it was in the newsletter, and we sent out a newsletter this month to everybody on our list. And we have a page on Facebook, newsletter on Facebook too. But I say right now we can't do it. We can't even have a board meeting, and the place where we have our meeting is a church, and they're not even open for us to even have a board meeting there.
Right.
So we just said, let's put everything on hold till next year because we really can't do anything right now. And we were set up in Area 10 to do a workshop, but we had the meeting in January and we were working on it, and then everything came to so we didn't want to get caught by having to put a deposit down on a place and then have it, but it didn't work out that way anyway because they couldn't have a meeting anywhere.
Let me share an idea that I shared with Tuesday's group. Somebody was frustrated because they couldn't have any personal contact with anybody in the districts. And I said, well, what if actually in our division, we've gotten the names of all the HR people and all the districts around in Sonoma County. And I said, what if you sent an email, not in the beginning of school, like at the end of September, saying, mark your calendar for March or April, whatever day in the spring, we're going to have a pre-retirement event, and it's going to be, give them all the details and who's speaking and what's going on, so they can put that on their calendar and say registration, we'll send you another update. But if everybody who's teaching currently got a look at that, at least you would get information out on a future event. So that's, if you're going to have, be at the farmer's market, look for us at the third Wednesdays at the local whatever farmer's market, or anything that you're going to be, that's upcoming. It doesn't have to be long, just a brief little shot of information. Who else? Go ahead.
One of the things that my division did, we actually were one of the divisions that contacted every single one of our members during the pandemic. They either got an email from us or a personal phone call. And if we couldn't get them through a personal phone call, we sent them letters. So every single one of our 400 plus members were contacted. But now I'm sitting here thinking, what am I going to do next? Because now that I made contact with these people, I don't want to sit there and say, we're not going to be doing anything. So we've kind of been brainstorming. I've had a couple of meetings, Zoom meetings with my board, and they've been very successful. Some people don't have, capacity for video. So they just stay on the line. They hear us, they don't see us. But I've been thinking about what we can do in the fall when, we're supposed to come back in the fall, and we, obviously I don't think we're going to be having luncheons or meetings, but I'm thinking about maybe doing some Zoom meetings and having some guest speakers come, because in that way, I realize that not all of our membership's going to, be available to do it, but at least if we still, keep that contact going, because I'm afraid that we've made this contact and now nothing's happening. Right. And I don't want them to go away now that we've made, and a lot of them were very, very appreciative that we contacted them.
Isn't that wonderful? They were appreciative. That was the best part.
Yeah.
suggestion, if you is to have like lunchtime chat. You know, you could do it at lunchtime, or you can do it like at they called it cocktail hour, but it could be, you know, in the afternoon. And you may get people who don't want to go to a meeting, but they may go on Zoom because they could, you know, black out and they could go do something and still hear what's going on. So I think that's a great idea. And if you need to set up a meeting, you know, you can go to the website and there's a link there to let Irene Wetzel know what days and times you're interested in, and she will set it up for you or tell you that you need to choose a different date or whatever. So if you're serious, consider that, please, that, and you can get on the calendar, so to speak. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Irene here.
Go ahead.
Interestingly, a meeting just ended where a division is planning a meeting with their members. And another division down San Diego, they had a guest speaker on finance. It was excellent. And then another huge division is planning a webinar, GoToWebinar meeting. So these are all new experiences and really successful. Thank you.
That's wonderful. Irene hears about all of them, so she's a good resource. And somebody else, go ahead, Sue.
I know a couple divisions are also planning picnics in the fall in a park. You know, and people can bring their lawn chairs and they can space themselves apart, whatever. So, you know, and it's in an outdoor setting, which is significantly safer. You can wear your masks, but at least you get that personal contact with others. So that's also another consideration for divisions.
Got it. And Donna, then Steve. Go ahead, Donna.
We are going to try the picnic in the park. We're still waiting to see if the park will let us reserve the picnic table area. Our caterer could do sack lunches. They said they would be willing to do that. So, and that would be very reasonable. We could just, you know, vegetarian or non-vegetarian, or people could bring their own. So that's another, a less expensive meeting. We have about 575 members, and we're still plowing through the calling. We have 13 and a half pages. I gave each person on the board or a chair half a page and halves, and so we're still getting through that process. I stupidly forgot to ask them for their email like Mark suggested, but the ones I haven't reached yet, I'm going to do that because we have a large membership that we don't have.
Okay, we lost you there for a bit. Okay.
As far as the, we've had very successful Zoom meetings, but I like the idea of having a public Zoom meeting. Our local Audubon has been doing that, and it's been very successful. So I'm definitely going to try that because we have a really good speaker who could do that for us. She has.
Okay, we lost her. Okay, go ahead, Steve.
Oh.
Hey, Lorraine, could you give a little bit of the details on the new membership category called the Advocacy member?
We have a new advocacy membership available, and it's for people who support education, but they're not necessarily educators. And it's really a great way for people who don't want to be in a division, but they want to support CalRTA and our mission. So that's available now. I'm going to be talking to Johanna and Angelique to see how we can get that out to our divisions, because I really believe that everybody might know somebody who is in the business world or has, or their business is education. Perhaps for example, a Jostens rep who sells caps and gowns or does the yearbooks, or anybody who does any kind of thing with education. They're the perfect people to approach to become an advocate member for CalRTA. Go ahead, Steve.
And it's also for educators who don't want to go to luncheons. They don't want to be pressured, or that sort of thing, peer pressured into doing something, but they will be an advocate for us. So yeah, so it's
it depends on who your person is, your new retiree. Are they interested in just being part of your division and not being involved and just getting the newsletters? That's good enough for them. Or are they just like, I want to join, but I don't want anything to do with the divisions? And that would be where the advocacy membership, like Steve said, would come into play. It's a new thing that we're trying, and hopefully we'll get some more people on board. Exactly. Did anybody else have questions? Go ahead, Donna.
How much is the advocacy member?
Same price, $66.
Okay. Good, thanks.
Yeah.
Lorraine?
Yes?
I'd like to throw something in here, and people might think it's semantics, but this new advocacy membership lends itself to asking people to support CalRTA, not necessarily join. A lot of people shy away from joining, but they will support a worthy cause. So when you approach somebody with that phraseology, if you will, here's your chance to support a worthy cause. They don't have to join, but they can support the effort.
And just so you know, the money, your division gets nothing for a person who signs up as an advocate. The money used from those memberships, the money that would go to the division, is going to be used to support different things for the state, is my understanding.
I see.
It goes towards the legislative platform issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like I said, for issues for that and for the state.
Steve, I'm not sure on that. I think we're still discussing that. The original proposal was to go to the 0 division, which is where everybody who is not in a division, their division money goes to, I think, the 0 division, if I remember right.
Well, regardless, it doesn't go to your division.
Right.
That's the bottom line. So if you want the money for your division, tell those people to join and just enjoy the newsletter. Okay, go ahead.
Is there a different form that they fill out to be an advocacy member?
There is a membership form for that, but yeah, there's a different brochure for that. They would, because our current membership forms don't say advocacy on it. So I'm going to ask Johanna to send out some of those membership forms, the advocacy ones, to the division presidents so they have them.
Okay.
Because a regular form, they have to put advocate, they would have to write it because it's not on a regular membership form. If I'm wrong, let me know, Steve and Mark, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. Okay, what else? We got 3 minutes. Go ahead, Donna.
What about other groups? Like if the women's club could be convinced to become a member as the club, a club-to-club organization.
That would be an advocacy member.
I see.
You could just,
Okay.
they could just say, the DKG wants to join. Though your DKG,
But they can't.
all those women should be joining CalRTA.
Yeah, but couldn't they also become a member of our local chapter?
That I don't have
Could
an
they?
answer for. I'd have to ask. I don't think so because it's individual memberships first. I would think they have to be an advocate member. That's off the top of my
okay.
head. I can find out for sure.
Okay.
I'm writing myself a note.
Thank you.
Anything else? All right. Well, thank you so much for coming. I hope you got something out of it. Jim Sterling will be sending you an evaluation. Please fill it out, because that's how we, and also let me know, or on the evaluation write if you'd like a different topic from membership. I'd like to continue these, and maybe other people from the MRRC committee could lead them with me or by themselves, but we need to know what you're interested in, and in order to make it valuable. Yes, Donna.
Is there any way to make our website have a members only section?
It is a members only section after you log in.
That's the
Division
our division website. Oh, shoot. Our
You mean your
division
division?
website.
Oh, your division
Yes.
website.
Yes, that's what I'm really interested in, because I would like to put our directory on it.
That I would talk to Debbie Pate Newton
and Jim Sterling.
and Jim.
Okay,
Yeah.
will do. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, one last thing real quick. Our division puts on our website, the CalRTA website, information just for teachers still in the classroom. So that's another thought. You could direct them to your division website on the CalRTA website, and they could just click on that. If you're in the classroom, current educators, I think is what we called it. So give them information and feedback. Yes, go ahead. You had a quick question?
Just in response to putting the directory on the website, it's a privacy issue. That means that anybody can go in to your division website and get information about your members.
That's why I want it a log-on only, a member log-on for our division website.
Yeah, that's what you
the
need
point.
to talk to.
Because I can't get it up.
Yes?
Yeah.
Jim.
This is an issue that has been looked at. The economics of it first, the amount of work that would have to be done to make this happen for 86 divisions across the state would be a huge financial investment. And the other issue is privacy. We would be opening the organization up to all sorts of legal issues regarding privacy. So at this stage, that's pretty much something that we've decided to stay away from.
Okay, there's your answer. All right, everybody, it's 2:01. I hope you got something out of this. Thank you so much for attending. And I look forward to meeting you in the future.
Thanks, Lorraine.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for hosting.
Thank you, Lorraine.
You're welcome.